Okay, so good morning once again and welcome to this session. And today we are going to discuss about blockchain and the adoption of blockchain and how blockchain can transform your career and what are the advantages of learning blockchain and about the Blockchain Academy and how it's training students to be industry ready and earn a good job in the field. So getting started with blockchain today, blockchain has become not just a new technology, it has become something which has led to a growth in the financial systems as well as a new way of innovative technology that has enabled more easy way of doing businesses. So getting started, what are some of the statistics of blockchain as that you must know? So the blockchain has become one of the most fastest growing system that's currently existing. Like it has become a disruptive innovation, as we call it. Like it has had a large compounded annual growth rate, or its CAGR of 46% by 2024, and its contribution to the global market is almost 50%, and it's growing at a rapid pace. And total transactions have been very high, like 600 million transactions, and it is expected to boost the GDP to about $1.676 trillion by 2030. So the blockchain current estimate, the blockchain is expected spend on the application domain alone is expected to be around $18 billion by 2024. And the current value has risen in 2025, it is expected to reach about 40 billion. So it's growing at a rapid pace. And there are a lot of areas in which the blockchain has been spending, like in banking, process manufacturing, and discrete manufacturing, professional services, and retail. And it has shifting to almost all the different technologies have adopted blockchain in one way or another. For example, in supply chains and in financial systems for provenance and other purposes. So blockchain has been a disruptive innovation, and it has not just a new technology, it has grown to become a standard, industry standard, and moving forward, it is growing at a rapid pace. So like you can see that the top blockchain spenders by country or region, like the USA has around $4.2 billion that is currently being spent by 2022 estimates, and then followed by Europe, others, China, Japan, and other countries. So basically all the different countries and all the different industries have been adopting blockchain at a very fast rate, and it's a fast growing industry. And we have to keep up with that skill set to match what is needed. The need of the industry should be met by the skill set of the people, like the professionals who are working on it. So there's a demand for the professionals who are needed in this area, and there's a demand supply gap for that. So skilled persons who are willing to work in this domain are less, and there is a huge demand for blockchain professionals in the IT field. So that's what the statistics show, that this field is very much rapidly growing field, and it has disrupted almost all the different financial systems, and all the different industries have been affected by blockchain as a whole. And what are some of the highest paying jobs in the blockchain sector? For example, blockchain developer who create smart contracts or write programming code on the blockchain, they are one of the most preferred jobs in this area. Then comes the architects, the project managers, the UX developers, the quality engineers, legal consultants, blockchain analysts, software engineers, and crypto community managers. So there are a lot of high paying jobs in this blockchain sectors, and actually they are being paid as at the top of the industry level. I mean, they are most preferred form of I mean, they are most highly paid professionals in this sector. So there are a lot of opportunities for being a blockchain in the blockchain area. You can select any of these preferred job profiles, and you can become one of the top paid um, professional in this industry. And moving on to some of the disruptions with blockchain, like blockchain has been adopted in different areas, like banking adoptions. For example, banks could save up to $8 billion per year. So there is a lot of savings to be done by banks due to this technology being adopted. You can reduce a lot of infrastructure costs. For example, 30% of the infrastructure costs can be reduced by a blockchain. Then more than 69%, I think the figure is more, close to 90% of the banks are experimenting with blockchain technology and to make their services more secure, seamless, and transparent. So it's a technology that you don't visibly see, but behind the scenes, that this technology is disrupting the banking system as a whole, and the banks are expected to save a lot of money by adopting this technology. So there have been a lot of disruptions in the banking area, and most of the banks have started experimenting with blockchain technology. They have started incorporating blockchain. So some of the consortiums like Corda and others, they have already been proven technology, and many of the Indian banks have already started using some of these distributed ledger or blockchain technologies. Then supply chain, there is an end-to-end traceability issue, like how can you trace from the farm to the end consumer, or from the producer to the end consumer? That entire provenance is being managed by the supply chain. So blockchain, since it's a traceable solution, it can provide that end-to-end traceability and tamper-proofness for transactions. So this enables the efficient verification of goods and authenticity of stakeholders, and it eliminates the chance for fake products and illegal transactions. So as a whole, this reduces the settlement time, human errors and audit trials, etc., can be reduced. So as an example of the supply chain in the food industry, we have this traceability solution by Walmart. This is known as Food Trust. And the problem that Walmart faced was, like, when there was a need for identifying from which farm a particular vegetable came, for example, from which farm a particular batch of mangoes came, then that was difficult to track, because there were hundreds of providers, or hundreds of manufacturers for these mangoes, or producers of this mango. And it was very difficult to track from which exact farm this particular mango came from. So earlier, traditional way, it took a lot of reconciliation and back and forth calling, and the traditional way, without a distributed ledger solution, it took around 6.5 days to for that particular solution. But that was quite lengthy. It almost took a week to identify from which farm a particular mango came from, a batch of mango came from, or a particular meat came from. So that was very time consuming. But at end-to-end traceability solution with blockchain, with the help of Hyperledger and IBM, they enabled this entire system to be online, and each point in that supply chain was made available at the fingertips, and in 2.2 seconds you could trace from which farm a particular mango came from. So that enabled the reduction in required to track the source from 6.5 days to around 2.2 seconds, which was a huge improvement in time. And what is the impact of this traceability? Like, you can selectively quarantine this mango. Suppose it's a bad batch of vegetables, or like a mango, then that batch from that particular farm can be selectively quarantined, and this will reduce the operational and transactional cost, etc. So this is one example where an end-to-end traceability solution enabled a better experience for the retailer as well as the end consumer, and it will enable a provenance-based solution to track the source of the produce. So that is one of the main applications in supply chain and its related areas, where a blockchain is used as a traceability solutions. And there are other application areas for blockchain, like in real estate, for example. Some of the governments, they have already adopted or piloted some projects for land ownership using blockchain. So the land records are being digitized and they are being made available online using a distributed ledger, and that by the government itself. So some of the state governments have already piloted these projects, like in case of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana or Maharashtra governments. So they have already piloted land ownership on blockchain. And there are other areas like in healthcare, like for a universal health record, the records can be securely placed on a distributed ledger or a blockchain-based solution, so that the record is tamper-proof and it will not be hacked, or it will not be available to a third party, and the ownership of that data will be with the patient itself. So only if you authorize the access to that particular data, then the healthcare providers can access that particular data. So that's the idea of healthcare record storage in using distributed ledgers and blockchain. In finance, we can reduce the taxes and intermediaries, and anti-money laundering and cross-border payments have already been existed. So there's no geographical restrictions for the blockchain. So you can do cross-border payments using blockchain-based solution. And there are already some wallets that are available, blockchain-based wallets, which enable this cross-border payments, and it enables to reduce the taxes, as well as it prevents money laundering. So that's a vast area where a blockchain can potentially disrupt in the future in the finance, healthcare, and real estate. Then we have cybersecurity area, where it can prevent distributed denial of service attacks, and as well. So that's another area. Then giving power back to the user, meaning your data is owned by yourself. So this is known as decentralized identity or distributed identity, or DID. So there are projects such as Hyperledger Indy, which are providing this service of the user owning their own identity in a digital manner using a blockchain or a distributed ledger technology. Okay, so how the world sees blockchain. So this blockchain isn't a new technology anymore. So as per the PricewaterhouseCoopers survey in 2018, like 84% of the executives, they are looking for blockchain adoption. And according to the recent PwC Time for Trust report, it predicts that blockchain have a potential to add around, like we just discussed, like 1.76 trillion to the global economy, and it will produce at least 40 billion jobs by 2030. So people have started realizing that blockchain is not just a Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. There is a huge market outside of that, and there is a huge demand for professionals who are experienced in working in this area, right? So I'll just pause for a moment and see if you have any queries. So please feel free to ask any queries on chat, or you can just unmute and ask your queries. So those who are at YouTube Live, you can just post the query in the chat. Okay. So so basically what we are discussing till now is that the blockchain as a technology, it has grown. It is not just a new technology, and it is one of the fastest growing areas in the current ecosystem. And it's not just Bitcoin or the cryptocurrencies. There is a huge potential for blockchain outside of that in various areas, like we mentioned, like in case of supply chains, banking, finance, real estate, and so on. So basically, blockchain is one of the most disruptive innovations that has occurred in the recent times. So next, from hype to adoption. So when blockchain initially came about, there was a huge hype mostly due to the cryptocurrency aspects and the trading aspects of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. But more than that, as a strategic priority or as a future technology, blockchain has a potential to grow much more than the current existing systems, and there is a lot of spending on blockchain, and there is a expectation to reach around $18 billion worth of spending on blockchain solutions alone. Not just a cryptocurrency, we are eliminating the cryptocurrency here, just on the solutions alone by 18 billion. Then the blockchain market size, this market size is for the application development alone to be around 39 billion. So it's a huge market. So there are more than 3,000 blockchain startups. So there are a huge number of blockchain startups on AngelList, and even the US alone accounts for 56% of the global blockchain investments. So it's a huge market for the startups as well as for the existing in the global organizations. They have taken note, and they have almost all the major organizations have a blockchain wing now. They have some blockchain solutions also. So almost everyone is exploring blockchain, and they're identifying areas where blockchains can be of use. And there are already teams for most of the organizations in blockchain. So this can be an opportunity for you as a student to learn more about this technology and maybe become skilled in this technology and earn a job in this sector. So that's why Kerala Blockchain Academy has a lot of courses offered on blockchain to make you skilled and industry ready for these kinds of jobs. So in the a little bit more facts about blockchain economic impact. For example, by 2025, the projection is that around $422 billion will be spent on blockchain, with China and United States accounting for majority of that. And the rest of the countries will follow suit. Even India will be spending a lot of blockchain solutions, probably on supply chain banking and land records. Then global blockchain impact by 2030, it's like expected to triple or to like $1,700 billion. In 5 years, it is expected to grow more than 4 times. And China and US and India, all these countries is expected to spend a lot on blockchain, and it's going to impact a lot according to one survey. I think this is a PricewaterhouseCoopers survey, Time for Trust report in 2020. So there's a lot of potential in the coming years for blockchain. This is expected to grow at a fast rate and reach a huge impact in the coming years. So major areas of economic impact, as we mentioned, like identity management and credential management is one of the major area being spent. And then there is traceability, like we just discussed, traceability of food products that we just discussed. And that is also expected to have a lot of spending. Then security and payments using blockchain, that's one area. Like we have the central bank digital currency, which is somewhat related to the blockchain technology, but not exactly blockchain, but something related to that. Then agreement thresholds and disputes, loyalty and rewards, etc. So these are all other major areas where blockchain is expected to have an impact by 2030. So how can you as a student leverage this opportunity? There is no boundary on this application domain, and there's no limits on disruptions and innovations. So there's no barriers and complications. So basically you can use this technology for any suitable use case. So the identification of the use case is the most important thing. So once an organization identifies some use case, then they can use it for their own good, and there's no boundary on that application domain. There's no limit on that disruption and innovation. So basically it's disrupting most of the major industries already. There is no complications of centralizations. You can control the centralization up to a certain extent, maybe create a truly decentralized worldwide adoption, and there is almost zero third-party interactions. So basically, you can use blockchain for creating a decentralized ecosystem across the world, and that will create a huge opportunity for a lot of smaller players like startups, and maybe it will even benefit the existing players, produce more efficient solutions than the existing solutions. So that's why that's how you can leverage this opportunity. And as a student, you can learn more about this technology and increase your skills and improve your skills, and try to create new solutions based on this technology. So that's about the current state of blockchain and why you should get started with blockchains today. So I'll take a pause for any questions. So do you have any questions? So that's about the startup. Okay, I hope you are okay with this. So I'll just continue on, right? Okay, so I see no questions. So Kerala Blockchain Academy, what is KBA? KBA actually is a center of excellence under the Digital University of Kerala, or the Kerala University of Digital Sciences, Innovation and Technology. And we are offering courses we are doing research in blockchain. We are building projects on blockchain technologies, and we are doing research on blockchain, as well as we are doing training activities on blockchain. So we are having a team that is comprised of trainers as well as developers who are developing applications on blockchain, as well as training young minds on this new technology and making them suitable for the industries. So this is a government initiative to promote skills in this blockchain domain, and we are partnering with a lot of famous blockchain companies like Hyperledger. Hyperledger is a Linux Foundation hosted foundation which is working for blockchain for businesses. We are the official training partner and associate member for Hyperledger. We are also a training partner for R3 Consortium and other member or organizations of Interwork Alliance and Blockchain Education Network, etc. So some of the collaborations are shown here. Like, we are training partner of Hyperledger, and we are collaborating with Intel. Our training certificates are also collaborated with MLG Blockchain, which is a Canadian blockchain-based company. And we have other blockchain-based companies as collaborators like Zilliqa, and Blockchain Education Network is another collaborator. So we have, as you might know, you are already part of the Accelerated Blockchain Competency Development Program, or the ABCD program. So the idea was to initially the candidates will initially get training from the ICT Academy, and you will learn about the full stack development and so on. And then in the next phase, you will learn blockchain technology, and that will enable you to get industry ready for blockchain jobs. So that's the ABCD program, or Accelerated Blockchain Competency Development Program. So most of you are, I think, from ICT Academy. You are already part of that ABCD program. So once you complete your full stack developer course from ICT Academy, the next step is that you can join Kerala Blockchain Academy's in the Advanced Foundation Program on Blockchain Technology. That is the Certified Blockchain Associate Program. So this program aims to enhance your understanding of blockchain and what it is and how it works. So this is consisting of 6 modules with educational videos hands-on and blockchain beginner program. So it's basically this is a instructor-led program, a 30-hour instructor-led program. So 5 days, 6 hours per week, per day, sorry. And that will enable you to understand cryptography, the peer-to-peer networking, consensus, public and permission blockchain. That is necessary for understanding the foundation of blockchain. And this is just a foundation program which will enable you to learn the developer programs, which are hands-on programming courses. So this certified blockchain associate program can be learned by anyone who has a basic program knowledge, just basic HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So basic knowledge is only required, and just basic web. They just need to know how to navigate a web browser. So that's the basic requirement, and you can learn other developer courses on the basis of the knowledge that you gain from certified blockchain associate program. So that is the first course that we are offering after the full stack developer course in ICT. Next, you can join the certified blockchain associate program, and this will enhance your understanding of blockchain. Like it's a 30-hour program, as I mentioned. So 1 week, Monday to Friday. Next batch is from February 20 to 24th, and you can join that program. And basically, you will be learning all these modules and about the different aspects of blockchain, the foundation aspects of blockchain, and that will enable you to have a foundational grasp on blockchain. And from there onwards, you can learn the programmable aspects of blockchain. So this is the program that we are offering, and this is for a beginner level program. So it's designed to be non-technical. So this is accessible to anyone with a basic understanding of web technology. So it's an introductory course of blockchain for students and professionals. So anyone with a basic who can understand the basic principles, we can help you understand the potential and concepts of this technology of blockchain, why we need blockchain, and how to get started with the blockchain as we learned today. So it will provide a high level overview, and it will enable you to understand from any, be it from any background, not just science background, from any background, you can develop the critical skills needed to future-proof your career in blockchain. So this is about the CBA course. So basically, it is for anyone who can, who has a basic understanding of web technologies and who want to learn more about blockchain. You can join this program and you can learn blockchain foundation program. That is the Certified Blockchain Associate, or the CBA course, right? And what do we teach? An overview of the contents that are taught in this course. We teach the evolution of currency and ledgers, the principle, so how the currency got evolved, and what are the different types of distributed ledger technologies, the principles and technologies behind blockchain. So which all technologies are there, the private, the public blockchain, the difference between blockchain and distributed ledger technology, the types of distributed ledgers, differentiating how the traditional transactions work and how is it different from a blockchain transaction, and a high level overview of Bitcoin blockchain. So not too much into the cryptocurrency aspect, just the how Bitcoin works under the hood kind of overview, and introduction to Ethereum and other programmable blockchains. We have need for permission blockchains in businesses, how it's being used in businesses, etc. Then the role of Linux Foundation and R3 Consortium. So we have two flavors of blockchain. One is the public blockchain, and the other one is the private blockchain. So we have developer courses on both the public blockchains or the Ethereum blockchain, and we have developer courses on the private blockchains or the Fabric, Hyperledger Fabric blockchain. So we'll be covering the foundations of both the public and the private blockchain in this foundation course. So you can understand the far-reaching implications of blockchain, the use cases, and how potential disruptions are happening in this area in various industry sectors. So this is the course content overview that you will be learning regarding this course. So any questions till now? So, okay, so the question from Shamis is to be industry ready, what are the course from KBA would be needed? So, to be industry ready, I think you can finish this Certified Blockchain Associate program along with the developer program. So, we have two developer programs. One is on Ethereum, so that we'll be covering in the next slides, and another one is on Fabric. So certified Ethereum developer and certified Hyperledger Fabric developer. So these two courses, along with this course, will make you industry ready in blockchain. So we will discuss about those courses in the coming slides. Right. So the fee details are this. So basically we are doing like I'm teaching right now using a Zoom. So like that, we will be teaching online instructor-led courses. And it will be from 10 to 5 every day. And the mode, so the mode is online instructor-led course. And for the direct candidate, I mean, it will be like 7,500 plus GST or 18% tax. Then ICT full scholarship means those who have passed the full stack exam with that cutoff criteria. Above that, you will not have any fees for the CBA course. Then ICT without scholarship, this will be the fees. And those who are not students, who are professionals, ICT direct will be same as a direct candidate. So basically, this is the scholarship without scholarship fees, and with scholarship fees is this. Okay, so this is the fee details. So next, we are going into the brief introduction to blockchain. So this is all about the fee course and the fee details. So next, we'll be covering a brief introduction to blockchain, which will also be covered in the CBA course in much more detail, in a much broader depth. So just to give you a flavor of what we'll be teaching, we'll be covering the basics of blockchain in maybe 15 to 20 minutes. Next. So blockchain, as you know, it's a disruptive innovation. It's a new kind of technology. So what is blockchain? So blockchain is a different thing for in different perspectives. Is it a network? Is it a database? Or is it something entirely different? So it's a distributed and decentralized network, or that we can call as a blockchain. So what do you mean by decentralized? So centralized versus decentralized. Centralized means a blockchain, like we can give a classroom example. For example, in case of a classroom, a teacher will be teaching and the students will be listening. So the teacher is controlling that classroom. So that means it's a centralized kind of system. So there's one central authority that is controlling the classroom. So the teacher is controlling the classroom. So that central authority makes that particular system, a classroom, centralized. Now that's just for a analogy. Now, what do you mean by a decentralized kind of system? When there is no teacher present, instead of that, the students are expected to learn on their own. But there are certain rules that the students have to follow. So in that kind of system, we call it as a decentralized kind of system, where there is no teacher to control the entire classroom. Instead of that, the students will learn on their own, but they will follow certain protocols or certain rules according to which they will function. So that is known as a decentralized kind of system. So that classroom analogy, you can imagine a teacher controlling a classroom as centralized, and when there is no teacher, you can imagine the students governing themselves, or students students following rules by themselves as a decentralized kind of system. So there are a lot of protocols, or it's basically a software known as consensus mechanisms that are in place to make sure this rules are being followed by the students. Like, so in a real world scenario, this teacher will be like a server, and the students will be the clients in that ecosystem. So in a decentralized kind of system, there will be no server. So instead of that, all the students will be having equal privileges. So there is no controlling authority in case of a decentralized system. So the blockchain is the second figure, like it's following a decentralized ecosystem where there is no central authority that is controlling the entire system, right? So that's the most important aspect of a blockchain. So what are the other aspects of blockchain? I know I'm just just touching the tip of some of the concepts here. If you don't understand it properly, then don't worry, you can just join the course. Then we will be covering this in detail. So unlike storing in a single book or a database, like all the data is not kept at a single server. It's kept distributed or decentralized across many parties or the internet. So it's like an immutable global book for trusted transactions. There are different, like you have different students in this network. All these students can be imagined to be different participants, or we call these participants as nodes in the network. So these nodes, they all keep a copy of the database. So blockchain is distributed and decentralized. So unlike storing in a single book or database, all these different nodes, they keep a copy of this the database or this data. So all the data is stored, the same data is stored across the different participants in the network. So that's why it is called as a immutable global book for trusted transaction. So what you see here is a blockchain. So we have blocks, and there's a chain representing this. So these blocks are blocks of transactions or data, and these data, transactions, they are grouped together to form a block, and these blocks are cryptographically linked with each other by means of a chain. So this is how a chain of blocks are getting formed, and how the name blockchain came about. Blocks of transactions that are cryptographically linked by a chain. So that's why the name blockchain. So this entire blockchain is kept not just by one single participant in the network, but all the different participants in the network will keep a copy of this blockchain network. So that's the difference between a traditional system and a blockchain system in terms of storage. Like there's data replication across all the different nodes in the network. Also, we can imagine this like breaking this down into an analogy of keeping data in a book. There are different pages for a book, and these pages together, they form a book in a sequential order. So for example, a Harry Potter book, each page of this book will be having a unique number, like first page, second page, third page, and they will be having a sequential order. So you cannot have third page before the second page. So they will be having a sequential order, and they will be stored together or bound together into a book. And this book will be kept by different people or different participants in a library. Maybe this book is being distributed across different people in a library. So each member of the library will get a copy of the book. So they all will be having the same data or same copy of the book with them. And this blockchain is an ever-growing book. Ever-growing book means this data, the pages of the book are never ending. They keep on adding new pages. And what are the content of these pages? The pages are containing transactions. So the transactions are getting added as pages in a book, and they are being stored into a ledger. So you can call a ledger. A ledger is where you store some data. So this ledger is having a lot of transaction data, and this ledger is kept by each and every participant in that particular network. So this way, you can imagine transactions grouped together to form a block, and these blocks, each page will represent a block, and each block is kept in a blockchain or a ledger, and a copy of this blockchain is kept by each member. And the blockchain, this book is never ending. At real time, more and more pages are getting added to this book. So this is an example where you can imagine pages to be blocks, and inside the blocks you have transactions, and the pages together are grouped together into a book. It's a never-ending book, and this ledger or this blockchain is kept, the copy of this data is kept by each and every participants or node in that particular network. So these are nodes are actually not people, they are actually computers that are participating in the network, and they will keep a copy of this ledger, and everyone will have the same copy of the ledger. Then defining a chain. So the basic history of blockchain. What is a blockchain? It's a decentralized, distributed, immutable ledger technology. Decentralized because the blockchain is not having a central server, like in case of the teacher example. A teacher was controlling the classroom, but in case of blockchain, there is no teacher, so there is no one controlling it. It's distributed, meaning there is different participants who are having a copy of the same ledger or a book. So it's distributed across these different participants, and it's immutable ledger technology. So immutable means you cannot edit or tamper with it once it is stored on the blockchain. Immutability means you cannot edit or tamper with it once it's stored on the blockchain. So that's why it's called as a decentralized, distributed, immutable ledger technology. And why blockchain is important? It's a real-time open ledger for recording any type of transactions with no single owner. So that's the importance of blockchain. So you can record any transaction data, but you don't, there's no single server or owner for that particular data. It's a shared network, and every participant have equal privilege in that network. So when was the first blockchain created? So the first blockchain was created in 2008 by Satoshi Nakamoto. We don't know who Satoshi is. It's a pseudonymous person or persons. And the white paper was published in 2008, known as Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. And Bitcoin was the first blockchain, right? So we'll take a pause here. Okay. Okay, so can anyone confirm that I'm audible now? In the chat or anywhere, can you post? Okay, thank you. Okay, so moving on. So that's about how we define this chain. Next, out of this chaos, like from this that this came at a time when the world was reconciliating from a financial crisis in 2008, when the Lehman Brothers collapsed and there was a housing bubble collapse in the US, and there was a recession coming in the US. So in 2008, this document was published called Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, by an unknown identity by Satoshi Nakamoto. And in 2009, the Satoshi launches this Bitcoin as an alternative to the current financial system and centers of power. So basically, 2008, the white paper was launched, and in 2009, this Bitcoin was launched as an alternative to the current financial system and centers of power. And so the public network was live in 2009 January, and later on, after initially becoming development for some years, then people started noticing this. In 2010, a guy named Laszlo, he made the first real world transaction by buying 2 pizzas for 10,000 BTC. But at that time, it was just worth less than $100. So it's current, but maybe it was like 0.001 Bitcoin. I mean, 1 Bitcoin was equivalent to 1 by thousandths of a dollar at that time. So it was very cheap at that time. So that's why he was buying 2 pizzas for 10,000 BTC. but its current rate is much higher, like its rate is increased. You can calculate how much is 10,000 BTC now. Then in 2022, the Bitcoin, like it uses a consensus mechanism known as proof of work. So that consensus mechanism is works on the principle of work done to make sure that the network is stable. So due to that, it consumes an estimated a lot of electricity for doing that work. So that puzzle solving mechanism is for Bitcoin is consuming a lot of electricity annually, more than the entire country of a medium-sized country like Argentina, and a population of which has a population of 45 million. So actually, Bitcoin is having a lot of drawbacks in that area. So other blockchains like Ethereum, they have chosen to go some green, like they have made modification to their consensus algorithm, and they are using a different consensus algorithm which is not consuming that much electricity. Okay, so currently Bitcoin has grown so much that it is consuming a lot of power that is more than the entire country of Argentina. So from in just around 14-15 years, it has grown so much, is what we can infer. So the Bitcoin blockchain, it's like we have a Bitcoin with a capital B, and that is representing the protocol. That's a protocol for a decentralized peer-to-peer network that creates the consensus without needing a central authority to provide trust. And we have the Bitcoin with a small b. So this is a currency or the token which is issued as a reward. So Bitcoin with a capital B, we represent it as a decentralized peer-to-peer network. The network that is underlying the coin. So the coin is the token or the coin that you use for cryptocurrency. That's the Bitcoin with the small case b. And the Bitcoin with the capital case B is the actual underlying network which enables that coin to function. Then we have another definition of blockchain, which is a public ledger where the network records these transactions, and these records are written, right? So these are the different definitions, like the Bitcoin with the capital B, the Bitcoin with a small b, and the blockchain. So what's the difference between a centralized or a fiat currency? So a fiat currency is a government-backed currency which is accepted as a legal tender. Legal tender means you can buy things using that currency legally in that particular country. And cryptocurrencies are not currently a legal tender. So like Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, they are classified as assets. So what's the difference here? A fiat currency like a dollar or a rupee, the transaction may or may not be recorded on a ledger. But in case of Bitcoin, the transactions are recorded on a ledger known as a blockchain. Then a fiat currency like the dollar, it's backed by a centralized authority. But there is no central authority in case of a Bitcoin cryptocurrency. The dollars are a legal tender, meaning they are accepted by the government to be used as a money in like dollar or a rupee. But Bitcoin is not yet a legal tender. But some country like Venezuela have started using this Bitcoin as a legal tender. And in case of supply cap is how much maximum number of currency can be printed or created. So dollar and rupee, there's no supply cap on that. But Bitcoin, some of the cryptocurrencies have supply cap, like Bitcoin has a supply cap. Some do not have a supply cap, but Bitcoin has a supply cap of 21 million Bitcoin, which was set by Satoshi Nakamoto when he created Bitcoin. So the maximum number of Bitcoin that will be created, the number of Bitcoins is 21 million Bitcoins. So that's the difference between a fiat currency like a dollar or a rupee and a cryptocurrency like a Bitcoin. And just a brief working of the blockchain. So it doesn't matter if you don't understand this fully. We'll go through this in the course in detail. So working of the blockchain, basically, someone will initiate a transaction maybe through a wallet. Then that transaction is sent across the network by, and this wallet will connect to a node in the network. So these are different participants in the network, blockchain network, or a node. This transaction is sent across the network. It's shared across the different nodes in the network, or a peer-to-peer broadcast is done. Then the nodes then verify the transaction individually, independently. They verify the transaction. So not just this transaction, many other transactions will be sent and shared across the nodes, and these nodes will then verify the transactions. And once the nodes verify the transactions, they add the transaction to a candidate block. So the candidate, so they add the transaction to a transaction. Actually, there's something known as the transaction queue or a memory pool, and they add it to the memory pool. And when they are ready, they will add that transaction from the memory pool to a block, and each node will create a candidate block, and then comes a leader election or a consensus mechanism. Now the problem here is everyone has a candidate block. Now which block from this should be selected? Because if everyone creates their own block, there will not be a synchronization. There will be different different states, different transactions in different nodes. So there will not be a single data shared across this. So instead of that, we have to select one block, and that one block will be sent across the network and shared across this network to make sure that the same data is shared across the network. So for that purpose, we are using something known as consensus mechanism, which will select one of these node, and that node will be allowed to share that block across the different nodes in the network. And that is known as consensus mechanism, a leader action. And that winning node, that elected node will get some reward for winning that election. So that is how Bitcoin rewards are being given. So we are not going into detail regarding that. So this selected block is then sent across the network. Then the nodes then verify the other nodes. They verify whether the leader node's block is a valid block, and they then accept or reject that block. If it's a valid block, they verify and accept that block. Then to their database or to their ledger, they add the latest block. And when that block is added across the network, the transaction is complete. So this is how a high level overview of what will happen under the hood, like in a Bitcoin kind of blockchain, how it is getting added, how a transaction is getting added to a blockchain. Okay, so when to use a blockchain? So there's no central authority when you don't need a central authority, and you don't need to share. You need to share data across multiple companies or multiple organizations, and transaction should be visible to multiple members. There is permanent immutable history, etc. So in that case, you can use a blockchain. So if you don't need to share data across multiple companies or organization, or you need a central authority, then transaction should not be visible to multiple members. Then if you need to delete your data, then you should not use a blockchain. So if you don't need a central authority, if you need to share across multiple companies, and if your transaction should be visible to multiple members, and you need a permanent immutable history of storage, then you can use a blockchain. There are a lot of application areas of blockchain, like we discussed in the first section of this session, like in cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin. A lot of other coins are there. So you have a lot of cryptocurrencies in existence, and these cryptocurrencies have a blockchain. Like Bitcoin has Bitcoin blockchain, Ether has Ethereum blockchain, etc. So these cryptocurrencies have an underlying blockchain technology powering them. There are other applications like trade finance, banking area, like we discussed. Crowdfunding is another application area. Insurance, legal, shared economy, real estate like land record storage. Newer areas like Internet of Things, like storing data from multiple devices, millions of devices like IoT devices, and and using them to make a decision, etc. So that is like a new kind of thing. Then supply chain management, like we saw the food trust by IBM. Then storage solutions like and storing data in a distributed fashion, decentralized identity and healthcare, like creating a patient record on as a decentralized record of storage. So these are different applications in which blockchains are getting used, right? So any queries? Okay, so Aparajita is asking whether you are yeah, this video recording will be available later on YouTube, so you can we will share the link and details on at a later stage. We don't have a course that is specializing on integrating IoT and blockchain, but we have courses which are covering the topics like we are discussing on some of these aspects as well. And we have developer courses on Ethereum, and we have developer courses on Hyperledger, which some of these technologies can be used for IoT devices. Okay, so moving on to the hype cycle for blockchain. So basically we have different kind of technologies like innovation in the areas like metaverse are coming up. So metaverse, and then authenticated provenance, decentralized autonomous organization, centralized decentralized finance, enhanced blockchain as a service, ZK proofs, Oracle's Web3, layer 2 and others are all there. So we can see that so what does this, so for those who don't know about the hype cycle, it's a graph of expectations versus time graph, where initially there will be an innovation like a blockchain, and that blockchain innovation will trigger a inflated expectation, and it will reach a peak of inflated expectation at some point of time. Later on, it will then go down the peak of inflated expectations to a trough of disillusionment, and slowly then after the projects which survive this phase will lead to a slope of enlightenment. Then finally we will reach the plateau of productivity. So this graph shows when the plateau of productivity will be reached for different upcoming technology. So we are expecting approximately 10 years for metaverse to become productive. So that's approximate expectation by Gartner. So this is a hype cycle produced by Gartner. So the expectation is like 10 years for metaverse, maybe 2 to 5 years for provenance, and maybe 5 to 10 years for DAOs, etc. So we can see layer 2 solutions are at their peak of inflected expectations, and some of the other technology like cryptocurrencies, decentralized applications, and blockchain wallets, they are slowly moving towards the plateau, and they are at the slope of enlightenment. They are reaching productivity. Maybe in the next 2 to 5 years, they will be reaching the plateau of productivity. So there are a lot of subfields in blockchain, like blockchain and IoT, stable coins, tokenizations. These are all currently going through this hype cycle, and maybe in the next 5 to 10 years, almost all of these technologies could potentially reach a plateau of productivity. So there are a lot of sub areas, subfields where blockchain is expected, and Web3 as a whole is expected to produce a lot of I mean, there's a lot of scope for a lot of these areas in the future. Okay, so that's all about this brief intro. Now, what we were discussing about this course and about a certified blockchain associate program, and we discussed the how to get started with blockchain, and then we discussed about how blockchain is getting how blockchain is disrupting the current ecosystems, and finally we discussed about an introduction to blockchain. Now, after the certified blockchain associate program, what other courses can you learn? So there was a query regarding this. So one course that you can learn after certified blockchain associate program, that's the foundation program, the associate program, CBA program. You can learn the certified Ethereum developer program. So this is a hands-on programming course or a developer program where you need to have that you need to program using smart contracts and create decentralized application. So this course is for a deep understanding on decentralized application development on the Ethereum blockchain. So you will learn the end-to-end programming using Ethereum using this course, and it will help you to master Ethereum decentralized application development and create smart contracts and decentralized applications on your own. So it will provide you information regarding knowledge on DApp development, solidity-based smart contract development, on Ethereum network configurations, different token standards, and different frameworks that are used, and many more. So basically, this course is for anyone who has completed the beginner certified blockchain associate program and who has a deeper understanding, who needs a deeper understanding of decentralized application development on the Ethereum blockchain. And those who are familiar with the concepts of blockchain technology and has intermediate programming knowledge of HTML, JavaScript, etc., they can all enroll for this course. So basically, you need to have some programming knowledge to basically join this course, like basic HTML, CSS, JavaScript is mandatory, and you need to have that knowledge to code. Otherwise, it will be difficult for you to follow the programming exercises. So this course is for open to all blockchain enthusiasts who like to create decentralized applications using Ethereum as a blockchain. So this is the next step. Then this is for the how you can enter into the world of public blockchain and smart contracts using Ethereum. If you want to enter into the world of private blockchains and enterprise business solutions, then you can go for certified Hyperledger Fabric developer program. So this is a program that is offered for the blockchain for business, or Hyperledger Fabric, which is the most famous technology that is being used in Hyperledger. So it's an enterprise grade permissioned distributed ledger framework. It's for developing distributed applications for businesses. So already a lot of companies have used this technology. Even the government has used this technology for some of their applications, and this course is catering to the developers who needs to create something known as chain code, which is the smart contract equivalent in Fabric, and application development and deployment in this. So similar to the Ethereum developer, you need to have an understanding on how on decentralized application development, a basic understanding on HTML and JavaScript. And it's open for all blockchain enthusiasts and those who want to follow the recent industry trends on blockchain, and those who want to learn chain code development and DApp development using certified Hyperledger Fabric. You can join this course and learn certified Hyperledger Fabric developer. And this certified Hyperledger Fabric developer will be offered in the next couple of months. And certified Ethereum developer will be starting from March 1st. So if you want to join certified Ethereum developer, I suggest you join the certified the blockchain associate program. So you can join the certified blockchain associate program on February 20th to 24th. Then on March 1st, we have certified Ethereum developer starting. So in that way, it will be a continuous learning for you. So you can learn that blockchain associate program and then join the certified Ethereum developer program next. So these are the two courses we have. Apart from this, we have other courses like certified blockchain startup program, which I have not listed. So we have a startup program for enthusiasts who wants to join or create your own blockchain based startups. It's a program that is created by EDI, Enterprise Development Institute of India, in collaboration with Digital University of Kerala and Kerala Blockchain Academy. Then we also have an architect program where you have when you complete this developer programs, both the developer programs, Ethereum developer program as well as Fabric developer program, you can join the architect program, which will be an 8-week internship at KBA, and you can work on a real world solution or on the live project that are currently running on premise at KBA. So it will be all these information will be communicated to you via mail. And if you want to contact us regarding any course inquiries, you can contact us in this mail ID, kba.admin@iitmk.ac.in. Also, you can call us during working hours from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can call us at this landline number or this mobile number at any time. Okay, so that's all from my side. And if you have any additional queries, you can just post in the chat or ask. Yeah. So Vipindra is asking in YouTube, can I learn the course online? Yes, you can. This is an online instructor-led course, so you can learn this course online. Hemant Vinod is asking, what are the chances of getting a job as a blockchain developer without prior experience? So there are a lot of opportunities for getting a blockchain job. So it depends on your skill set. So if you have if you work hard and finish these two developer programs, there is a high chance for you to get a job as a blockchain developer, even as a fresher without any experience. There's a high chance for you to get a job. And what are the fee details for CED CHF? So the fee details, I think I will just share. So there will be another, I think we will be having perhaps another session on the developer courses at a later stage. I mean, familiarizing you with the developer courses. So anyway, I'll just share the links. Okay, okay, I think the same thing. Do you have any other queries? Yeah, students for ICT, I think you can you will be contacted. I think you will be contacted via mail. So you can already. I think the CBA course is already live, so you can join that. We will contact you regarding the details soon. So I'm just sharing the links. Minimum pay scale, it depends on the company, and I'm not in a position to comment on that. So if it depends on your skill set as well. So it will be according to the industry standards. So minimum. We are only offering placement assistance. We are not giving placement assurance. So you can register with us in the placement assistance portal. So we'll assist you in getting jobs once you complete the course, and we will assist you in getting interview opportunities. So the interview will be done by the organizations, the hiring organizations themselves. Will be just connecting you with those organizations, right? So which one, will be more beneficial for web developers, Hyperledger or Ethereum? So I think both are beneficial for web development purpose. It depends on the use case. Some in a blockchain startup, if you are in a blockchain company, they might be using both Ethereum as well as Hyperledger. So it's not like which will be more beneficial. Both are beneficial. Both are equally beneficial. Some companies are using Ethereum, some companies are using Fabric. So it depends on which company you are getting placed or where you are working. So it's better to learn both. Blockchain scopes seems more developed outside India. If someone wants to break into an abroad market, how do you think that could be done? You can, I think there are alumni of KBA who are actually working abroad also. So these courses, they are actually industry standard courses, and we are offering, standard courses, industry standard courses across the world. So I think these courses will be beneficial outside of India as well. Actually, we have a lot of queries from outside of India as well for offering blockchain courses. All right, so I think that's all from my side, and thank you for listening in. And we'll share the details via our social media pages for the upcoming courses, as well as if you are interested, you can register with the course interest in the website, and you can will be alerted by mail, or you can just contact us. The details are given here, the email ID as well as phone number. So thank you everyone, and have a nice day.